So this is my sim rig as you know it from stage 1 and stage 1.5. Definitely go check out those videos if you haven't. Links in the description. Basically what we have here is a 2x4 frame with a Mazdaspeed 3 seat, a Logitech G29 shifter, and pedals. And this is its current resting location next to a pile of stuff I haven't unpacked yet because we just moved like 2 months ago, but I haven't had a lot of time to actually work in here. But yeah, this is my office for the time being. Eventually this sim rig is going to actually be turned sideways, but we'll get there when we get there. Today though is a special day because I have been wanting to do this for a long time. It's going out with the old and in with the new. So MOZA Racing sent me their R5 racing simulator with a clutch pedal, and also just recently they sent me the shifter as well. Everything is all over the place right now, but yeah, I told them if they send me a shifter I will put this setup on my sim rig, and the shifter is like ridiculously nice, gated metal, all that stuff. I'm really excited to get this thing on there, so let's do it. This is stage 2. We're going for a much more, I guess, hobbyist level kit rather than just like beginner level setup. So yeah, time for some upgrades. The Pixio monitor is staying, still works good, except coming up soon, VR, but that's for another video. I still have my Camus wheel. I have a ton of racing stuff now. This channel is basically a sim racing channel, but this wheel is for the desk. And then the Logitech wheel is going to be retired. I might use it with my Xbox. I think that's probably its best bet now. Step 1 is to remove everything. Thankfully, the Logitech makes that easy. You just gotta unscrew these pieces here. And, oh, yeah, this one has a bottom as well. Boom, shifter off. I think I am gonna have to modify this shifter bracket and also probably the wheel bracket and almost definitely the pedals as well. So this is going to be a bit of an ordeal, but it's worth it in the end, I think. And hopefully, especially when we get VR going in stage 2.5, it's going to be a fun setup here. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. One of the other things I've been thinking about with this is weight reduction. This wooden frame is like way overbuilt. It's too big and it's too heavy. So I'm going to try to make it lighter at some point. Well, that was a little bit more difficult than I thought, but the everything is off. I, in my infinite wisdom, had screws hidden behind other screws. Yeah, I mean, whoever designed this thing should be taken out back and shot, but for now, basically, everything is taken apart. The base is off. I actually forgot how much effort I put into making this, like... That's too much effort for just pedals, but they were solid, so it is what it is. Now comes the fun part. We take the MOZA stuff, we put it on here, and just kind of see how it's going. Hopefully I can reuse some of these parts. I don't really want to cut new stuff, but if I have to, I have to. I think the shifter is probably going to have to be shorter. And then this stuff, I have no idea. So let's figure it out. Okay, base on and roughly in the center. Then we take our wheel, snap her in place. This is not bad. I actually like the way that this sits. I think it's a little bit to the right now that I have the wheel on. Shifter, I think, is too high. And also, the mounting for it is the wrong way, obviously, because I made it for the other one. So I'll just have to modify this to make that work somehow. Being closer wouldn't necessarily be bad. I'll have to figure that out. But all this stuff has mounting holes at the bottom, so I can probably figure out a way to make that work. Some of these, I believe, are threaded. Yeah, most of these are threaded, so all I'm going to have to do is just drill holes in a piece of wood, bolts all the way up in, and then into some of these holes, whatever works. I could probably mount this the same way and just forgo the clip-on mount, but I kind of like the way that it sits. It's up, and I don't want to modify this, so that'll stay. And then let me show you the unfortunate part of this. So the Logitech pedal base is more narrow than this base, and that means that it doesn't actually fit within my bounds that I currently have. So I will either have to cut the front of this and widen it, or I guess I could just figure something else out. Or have them floating, I guess. That might be the only way to make this work, is to have them float. But I'll have to test that. Basically, we do have some easy mounting holes there, some easy ones on the front there. We'll just need a piece to come like this way, and then that should work. Yeah, and then I can put the screen back on. The screen, thankfully, is flexible because of the mount that I have, but everything else is kind of important that it goes into the right place, but it's looking good. We're getting there. In terms of weight reduction, like I was saying that before, because this base, especially with this seat, is way too heavy. I need to take the airbag out of this seat, and I also need to take off stuff like the seat belt and just like things that are not necessary, because it's way too heavy. That is gonna have to be for another day. I don't really want to break out the grinder today. I'm already gonna have to break out the saw, but we'll get this done. There's some extra material in places there doesn't need to be, like here, as you can see. And then, well, I could, I guess, make it slightly shorter, but I don't really want to ruin the stance, so. Okay, let's see about some of this stuff. Okay, before I show you the next clip, I just want to reiterate something that I didn't mention in this video, but it's important to note that these things actually do come with hardware. Like, they come with screws, they come with bolts. They assume that you're mounting it to a metal base, and they give you pretty much everything, including wrenches, to put it together. I am using wood screws because this is made out of wood. So this is not really the right way to do this, but I think with all this sim racing stuff, if you have a nice metal frame, I wish I did, then do it the right way. If you don't, improvise. That's basically what we're doing here. So here's what I've done. I put this piece back on because now it's not got any captive screws underneath it, and it's actually decent, unless I want to take the entire frame apart, which I don't. So here's what we're going to do. Basically just put that there and sort of center it as good as it can be centered. And yeah, it's going to be just like that. I'll basically put some screws through those holes there, probably 2 or 3 holes back there. And that is going to be that. It actually feels good raised, so I have no problems with it. I'm in fact pretty excited to use it. So yeah, I just have to do the shifter stuff and obviously attach that back on, screen back on, and then stage 2, now with MOZA stuff instead of previous Logitech, is complete. Obviously I still got to test the thing. Before you say that this is no longer a beginner setup, I just want to show you my current sawhorse situation. Yes, we're still in the beginning stages here. Okay, update. Basically, I cut this about 3 inches shorter and also turn this thing to the side. Basically what that means is we can put this here. I just need to get some screws with heads that are actually big enough because I don't have any washers. So gotta find that. And then pedals are in. The stuff at the front here, it's all just wood screws, obviously. But I found some washers conveniently located in the kit that came with the shifter. So thank you, shifter. And yeah, that should be good. Basically, all I was concerned about here is that I don't cut my finger on that, and or my foot on that, I should say, and it should be fine. So everything is buttoned up. There's one in each corner, and I think that should be good. We're darn close to having this thing done, except I do want to do one thing better than what I did last time, and that is cable management. Gonna do a little bit of a better job with that. Gonna be using cable ties for speed. Okay, all right. After a bit of a mess and also a bit of a work, I have managed to actually get the sim rig all squared away, and we have a functional shifter. This is a screw from an IKEA set, and there's another one on the other side, and yeah, it seems to work pretty darn good. Unfortunately, this whole thing kind of moves even though it's got 3 screws in the base, so my next course of action for this thing is reinforcement without adding a ton of weight. I think that this needs to be reinforced, probably the screen mount as well, and then the shifter, but again, without adding a whole another piece of wood as weight. I really do not want to do that. Just sounds like a bad idea, but yeah. This is all thanks to MOZA Racing, by the way. They sent all this stuff. There's links in the description to this if you're interested in getting some of their stuff. Not affiliate links. I don't usually do that kind of thing, but yeah. No, I'm excited for this set. I'm excited to get it back together. I got some cleaning to do, but the next time you see me, we should be good, all wired up. Okay, after one heck of an adventure, we finally got this thing set up. Now, the question is, does it work? Also, have you ever heard of this thing called cable management? I have never seen it before. But anyway, so it should work. It should work. I don't think it'll have any problems. In fact, let me hit the start button right now. Nothing? Okay, it doesn't work. There's probably something. Oh, never mind. There we go. Life at its fullest. Okay, so the issues that I've come up with so far, just a few. Basically, the cords that I have are too short to reach my PC, which is on my desk. Ideally, the desk would be like here, and then this would be like there, and then everything would actually just reach the PC because it'd all be on the corner. But the DisplayPort cable that I have is right there. Could hang somebody. We also have the USB coming down from there, and unfortunately the shifter requires its own USB. I plugged it into the USB on my power bar here because I'm hoping that it just needs 5 volts or whatever, but we will find out. Probably not. It probably needs more than that, so I'm gonna have to either move this much closer to my desk, which means I have less space to like work, or I'm gonna have to get some like USB extension thing and then get that all sorted out, and then a longer DisplayPort cable because this thing is 6 feet. That's not enough. We need like 12 probably to be comfortable. Anyway, let's give it an actual test. Everything kind of came together pretty easily. It's just like I just ran out of space for all these cables, so it's all wrapped up just to keep it away from the feet. Yeah, I think that should do it. Let's test out beamng. Oh, would you look at that? It seems to be that 5 volts is all that the shifter needed, because if I move this out of gear, let's say we put it in third, then third. Okay, let's try out an actual game with this thing. Okay, it's been like half an hour of troubleshooting. Basically, the DisplayPort cable that I bought is garbage and doesn't work. I guess maybe it's an older standard of DisplayPort, which is why it's so cheap. Moral of the story, don't cheap out on your cables. So I have an HDMI running from there to here, which is unfortunately lower quality. We can't get full 144 hertz. I'm not sure if it'll do 2K, but we'll see. And the screen is going to be in the wrong position, but at least we get a test. So let's try that now. We're up in the air, but at least you get to see what's going on here, at least a little bit. I want you to more see this than this. This doesn't matter as much as this. So that's context. This is the application. Shifter and all this stuff all nice and bolted on. I have a controller here, but it's not even working for some reason. Oh, now it's working. Okay. Nothing works today. I don't know what's going on, but at least I have this controller as backup. I took a bit of time and mapped every gear, which was a bit of a pain when the screen is all jank and all this stuff. If you're properly set up, it will not take long, but I'm not properly set up. But everything feels solid. I take that back. Everything feels fairly solid. I do need to do some work on the settings for the wheel, and I need to do some reinforcement. I think what I'm going to do is I'll tie these two together, and I'll also tie the shifter into this main bar setup, and then I'll just have everything kind of like locked in. Hopefully that's enough to keep it strong. I don't really know at this point. Everything else is good. The bolts on this MOZA thing hang down a little bit low, so I might have to just change up the way that it's mounted, which is going to end up being wood screws. That's just the way that it is. But just to give you an idea of what we're working with here, basically shifter all nice and good, clutch in, into reverse, and then we can kind of just do whatever we want. I have it set up right now where the clutch won't let me stall, which is unfortunate, but that was just because I was using the controller, which is very, very easy to stall with. And I'm just driving a super base model car in this game with a manual transmission, so we're not going anywhere quick, but at least we're going, and that's the fun part about these sim rigs. Once we get this down here and we get VR set up, which is next time, this is going to get really fun, and I'm excited to actually do streams and stuff in here instead of on my desk. Because this chair is a lot more comfortable than office chairs, And also this whole setup is really cool, and I really want to use it, especially this wheel shifter setup. The way that this thing clicks is just amazing. Actually, let me show you. I think you're gonna like this. Beautiful. All right, here's some wheel action for you. Wheel to wheel. You gotta push down a little bit to get into reverse. I'm not quite used to that. Although that is realistic. This is with low force feedback. This thing can get a lot more intense than this. And I might have to turn it back up to default settings in that regard. I had to turn it way, way down in order to make it work on the desk, because this thing vibrates like crazy. But that's kind of what you want, because that means it's giving you feedback. Oh my goodness! That was a heck of a turn. Okay. I'm screwing around now. That's it for this episode of the SimRig build. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun for me, and also a lot of work, but I wanted to get this done, and it's worth it. I've been really excited about this, and especially this full setup now, having a shifter, pedals, and also the full wheel with direct drive. It's cool. So thank you again to Moza for sending this stuff. Again, not sponsored by them. They sent me this stuff without any contracts or anything crazy like that. But links to their stuff in the description, not affiliate links. I'm not making any money on this. But I am having a lot of fun, and I'm excited to continue with this SimRig build. So hopefully you're enjoying it too, and let me know what you think we should do next. I kind of laid out my next ideas, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Until next time, more reinforcement to come. A little bit of reinforcement on my figuring out how I'm going to make this screen work, and also VR, don't forget, I'm really hyped for that. So within 2 weeks, that VR video is going to come out, and yeah, we'll get some VR stuff going. It's going to be sweet. VR will probably fix my cable woes with my monitor. All right, see you again soon. Thanks for watching.